Hey everybody, this is Mr. Williams, and this is the video I'm going to be doing on the practice quiz and quiz from a couple weeks ago, right after Labor Day. So, in this practice quiz and in the quiz, we have some percent problems and some proportion and unit rate problems. I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. Our percent problems, remember, follow this format: is over of, the part over the whole. We have that in words, and then we have that in numbers as a percent over 100. So I'm going to follow that format really all the way throughout this section of the quiz. If I look at number 1, I'm going to start that by reading 44 is 66% of what number? So that is how I need to set that proportion up. 44 goes in the is spot, 66 goes in the percent spot, and we do not know our of number. And my fish will be 44 times 100 divided by 66. You will get 66.67 as an answer for that one. Moving on to number 2. What is? I don't know my is number. The problem says that very clearly. My variable goes in the is spot. Then I see 72%. And then I see of 144. So, once again, I'm going to use my fish. Down, over, and around. 144 times 72 divided by 100 is 103.68. Number 3, 54 is what percent of 150? And now that I've set that up properly, putting all 3 of my numbers, 2 numbers and 1 variable really in their correct places, 100 times 54 divided by 150 is 36%. Number 4, there were 12 pieces of a chocolate bar before I left it on my desk. Now there are 3 pieces. The question itself gives me pretty much everything I need if I can look in the rest of the problem for that information. What percent, so I don't know the percent, of the chocolate bar, so the entire chocolate bar had 12 pieces, is left. And there were 3 pieces left. Now, it would have been easy to switch around the 3 and the 12 if you weren't careful. That's when your number sense comes in, because if you get 400%, 3 is not 400% of 12. That does not make any sense. So, we move forward with this proportion. 100 times 3 divided by 12 is 25%. Moving on then to number 5. Mr. Williams graded all 63 quizzes from last week in 4 hours. Let me use some color there. 63 quizzes in 4 hours. And now we are asking, how many quizzes did I grade per, and remember this is 1 hour. Per means 1 when you see it in this context. And whether you set up this proportion or whether you saw that it would just be 63 divided by 4, either way, you will get 15.75 for that one. Number 6, we have another unit rate problem, but this time we have some fractions involved. Wilbur eats 2/5 of a tray of slop in 3 2/3 hours. You could have, if you wanted to, change that to 11/3, but I let you use calculators on this, so it might not have been completely necessary. And then we're asking how long, how much time would it take him to eat one full tray? So we run through with the fish method on this one. 1 times 3 2/3, or 1 times 11/3. In fact, I'm going to go with the 11/3 so we can kind of review how to work with the fractions. Divided by 2/5. If you remember, and I let y'all use calculators so that we wouldn't need to really get into this, but if you remember how to divide fractions, that's keep, change, flip. You keep the first fraction the same. You change dividing to multiplying, and then you flip 2/5, so it becomes 5/2. Then, wait, let me use yellow for that. Then you could have gotten 55/6, or if you wanted to turn it back into a mixed number, 9 1/6. Either of these answers were acceptable. I gave you full credit for either of those. Then on the back of the practice quiz, number 7, one Lolcats book contains 48 memes and costs $12.50. Another Lolcats book contains 20 memes and costs $5. Which book has the best price per meme? This is like a shopping comparison. What I need to do is look at these 3 words, price per meme, because this tells me the order in which I need to divide things. So the first book, the price is $12.50, and we're dividing it by the number of memes, which is 48. The second book is $5, and we're dividing it by the number of memes, which is 20. And I will need to grab my calculator for this. So the first Lolcats book, $12.50 for 48 memes, is almost exactly 26 cents per meme. But the second book, $5 for 20 memes, is 25 cents per meme. That is your best price. If you divided things in the other order, you may have mixed up a couple of things there and accidentally put the wrong book down as your answer. Number 8, Quasimodo can get through 2.5 boring French novels in 1 1/4 days. How many boring French novels can he get through in a week? The key word here is week, because if I go ahead and start to set this up, 2 1/5 novels in 1 1/4 days. We're asking how many novels can he get through in, and if you said a week has 7 days. Some of you just went with 1. Some of you put down 5 for some reason. But here's this. 7 times, and I'm going to turn 2 1/5 into 11/5. So that's 77/5 divided by 5/4 from 1 1/4. We use keep, change, flip on these fractions. We keep 77/5 the same. We change dividing to multiplying, and we flip 5/4, so now it becomes 4/5. This gives us, and again, there were a couple good ways to write the answer. This would have been 308 over 25, or 12 and 8 over 25. Either of these two answers were acceptable. Number 9, we're back to percents. Pi costs $4.50. A greedy corporation raises the price of pi by 18%. How much will the price go up by? And then number 10 goes with it. What will the new price of pi be after the increase? So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. Your original price is always your of. So that's $4.50. The price is going up by 18%. And we're trying to figure out what is that 18% of $4.50 that the price is going to go up by. How much is the price going to increase? So, pretty standard fish method at this point. 450 times 18 divided by 100 is 81 cents. And then if we want to find the new price of pi after the increase, the word increase is a big hint that you need to take that 81 cents and add to it the original price of $4.50. For a final answer in question 10 of $5.31. All right, moving on to the quiz itself. We're starting with more percents. 9.2 is 23% of what number? I'm going to be using this. Come on. Several times throughout this quiz as well as the practice quiz. Go ahead and bring that down to save myself some time later. So here we go. 9.2 is 23% of what number? There's your fish. 9.2 times 100 divided by 23 gives you an answer for this one of 40. Number 2, what is, there's your variable, 33% of 120. So then you run through the fish method on this one. You will get 39.6, 120 times 33 divided by 100. Number 3, 82 is, hold on, what percent, there's your variable, of 250. So 100 times 82 divided by 250. This one I kind of forgot, but it's 32.8. And finally, number 4, a game that normally costs $60 is on sale for $25. The question itself gives you what you need. What percent goes in the variable spot, of the original cost, $60, is the sale price $25. If you set your proportion up like this, and you run through the fish method, you'll get 41.67%. Let me go ahead and put a percent sign on that one also. Number 5 is a unit rate. A grandma can make 2,160 cookies in 18 hours. And again, there's a couple good ways to set up these proportions. You don't have to necessarily put cookies on the top and hours on the bottom. You just have to do the same thing in both fractions. And we are trying to figure out how many cookies this is per 1 hour. Fish method, 2,160 divided by 18 is 120 cookies per hour. Number 6, Jar Jar from Star Wars gets on 4/5 of my nerves in 1/12 of a movie. How many movies will it take him to get on the full amount of my nerves? So this one, I intentionally made the wording just a bit tricky. 4/5 of my nerves in 1/12 of a movie. And then we're asking how many movies will it take him to get on the full amount of my nerves. So if I run through the fish method on this one, this is 1 times 1/12 divided by 4/5. If we remember keep, change, flip, we keep 1/12 the same, change dividing to multiplying, and then flip 4/5, so now it's 5/4. And multiplying these two fractions, we get something that we do not need to turn into a mixed number because it's less than 1. Numerator is smaller than the denominator, that's 5/48. Number 7, we have another shopping problem. And I'm going to emphasize that we're being asked to find the price per cookie. That means we want to divide the price by the cookies. They are in that order in this question. So the portal is $2,500 for 65 cookies. $38.46 per cookie. Then we have a shipment which costs $1,500 and makes 35 cookies. So that's about $42.86 if you round it. Even if you're not that good at rounding, you should pretty well be able to see that the portal at $38.46 has the lowest price per cookie. Number 8, I can make 5/6 of a batch of salsa with 1 1/4 cans of tomatoes. Then I'm being asked, how many cans of tomatoes will I need to make 4 batches? That's how you set up the proportion. Keep your batches and cans consistent across the fractions. You can go ahead and multiply 4 times 1 1/4, also known as 5/4. That will just give you 5. We're dividing that by 5/6. And even though we have a whole number here in 5, we can still use keep, change, flip. Keep the 5, change dividing to multiplying, flip 5/6, so now it becomes 6/5. And we should end up with exactly 6 cans of tomatoes. Finally, 9 and 10 go together in the quiz, just like they did on the practice quiz. A car that originally cost $52,000 is discounted by 8%. How much will the price go down by? So basically, we're trying to figure out what is 8% of 52,000. And so if we run through the fish method on that one, the price is going to go down by $4,160. But then number 10, what will be the new price of the car? Just like we had to add that percent amount in the practice quiz, this time the price of the car is going down, so we need to subtract it. $52,000 minus $4,160 should give you $47,840. So that is it. That is the practice quiz and quiz from just a little while back. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Good luck.